A real advantage for any angler, doesn't matter whether they're coarse, doesn't matter whether they're sea, doesn't matter whether they're game, is to be able to tie a really strong knot. Now for that, I, using a little tool like this, homemade, tie the Bimini hitch. I've seen lots of cartoons of people who are tying their knees together and all sorts of strange things. But with a tool like this, you can make the Bimini hitch simply and easily. It's a brilliant piece of kit. And the knot itself is fantastically strong. I've tied pieces of nylon where I've tied a grinner knot at one end. I've tied the Bimini hitch at the other. The Bimini hitch was fine, grinner knot broke. Tried it again, revised grinner broke, Bimini hitch was fine. Tried it with all sorts of different knots. I've never yet had the Bimini hitch break, but no matter how strong the other knot is, they have always broken first. But they're actually really simple to tie as long as you use the tool. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do it. The first thing that you're going to need to do is to make the actual tool. Now for that, I use a piece of dowel, which will be a tight fit to go inside rigid plastic tubing. The tubing that I use is available from builders merchants and used in the gardens for fountains. So the dowel needs to fit tightly inside there. You'll need a small drill bit, about 2mm would be the right size, and you're going to need some stainless steel spring wire. I use grade 304, which is available off the internet, particularly from eBay. Now what you need to do is to drill a small hole in the end of a piece of dowel, which needs to be about 8 centimeters long. I use a saw and I cut a groove into the dowel. Now the idea is that I can bend back a piece of stainless steel wire, I can tap it into the hole that I've drilled in the dowel, and then the rest of the wire would sit neatly in the groove. At that point, I can then bend it into the right shape to make the Bimini hitch tool, and rather than explain that, the best way to do that is to look carefully at the diagram. You'll see in the stop, the last bit of the wire, there is a bend in the middle and a bend at the top, which helps the loop to slide off easily. When I've got that the right shape, I then get the piece of plastic tubing and I put the dowel into it and I tap it down with a hammer. And what that does is it secures the wire tightly against the dowel, and it means that the tool will be ready for use with or without decoration. If you want to, you can go through and you can decorate it all sorts of different ways. For me, all I tend to do is I usually get some black PVA tape and I wrap it around the tool. If I'm feeling particularly artistic, I might even get some gold foil or a different colour foil and put 2 wraps around just so that I can find it more easily in the dark. And what I find is that if you're looking around with a torch, the torch will shine off the gold foil. It means you can just find it straight away. To make the Bimini hitch, you start simply by threading the line through the loop on the tool, so that at this point the tool is simply free sliding on the line. You then take the tag end and you bring it up so that the tag end is parallel with whatever line you're using to tie the Bimini twist. Start turning the tool and you can see that it's starting to form neat and tidy twists going up the trace. You can take that as long as you want, as short as you want. 1/2 inch will do fine, but you can make it 4 or 5 inches if you want. Hold the line to one side and then keep twisting, and you will feel it click back on itself here. And at that point, it's just keep twisting the tool. And as you keep twisting, what's happening is that it's forming these lovely, neat and tidy coils. And I'm just going to keep spinning the tool all the way until I get back to here, which is the stop. So I'll just keep spinning. It's a bit like Nemo, isn't it? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. In this case, just keep spinning. So keep spinning till you get back to the stop. Putting quite a lot of tension on that then. Sometimes if you put your thumb on the line here, you can increase the tension even more, and that makes the twists even tighter. So I'm now getting close to the stop. There I am, close to the stop. Now I'm going to come up from underneath through the two strands that are held here on the tool. Now that makes this big loop, and I'm just going to pull the line through that loop and pull tight. I do the same the other side, so up from underneath, back through the big loop. Got to be careful you don't catch the stop when you do that. One more time, up from underneath, and then back through the loop and pull tight. I'm just going to trim that, and then I'm going to let it unspin. Because it's being held on a chain of swivels, it's not going to spin much at all because the swivels have been turning while I tied the Bimini hitch. If, on the other hand, this was line tied to the end of your rod, it would spin a lot, and you really need to let those twists unspin. Okay, so now I need to slide this off the tool. So you can see here is the stop. So I'm just going to push down on the stop, and as I do so, you can see that's now slid off there, so I can slide it off the tool, and there, that's your Bimini hitch. A very nice and tidy knot, won't let you down. As I say, I've tied it against all other types of knots that I know, and in not one instance has it broken. The other knots are all broken first. So there's your Bimini twist or your Bimini hitch. It's a very good little knot. It may take a little while for you to start getting perfect Bimini hitches every time, but with a little bit of practice, you'll soon find that you are. Then, when you do, you'll have access to a fantastic knot that won't let you down. It's useful for tackles, you can even make booms out of it, but perhaps I'll show you that in another video. In the meantime, thank you for watching, it's very much appreciated, and if you'd like to subscribe, please click the link below the video. It would be much appreciated. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.